The great lock-in of 2025. It is officially my favorite time of year. Everybody's summer fun is officially over and we are starting to think about how much time we have left in the year, what our New Year's goals list look like, and how we can now lock in and focus to achieve as much as we can before a new year and era of our lives begin in 2026. Now, unpopular opinion, but I think everybody's lock-in should look completely different. This is because it needs to be personalized and tailored to who you are, what your goals are, what your lifestyle looks like, etc. As well as your yearly struggles. What are the things that you're always missing out on or that you feel like you trip up on that now you can incorporate certain steps or routines that help you avoid those pitfalls? Copying somebody else's routine on TikTok just because it looks aesthetic and disciplined and motivating is no use to you. So an example of this, I've already made my personalized list of lock-in rules for this last quarter of the year and I'm going to be sharing that exact list later on in the video. But one of the things I put on there is really focusing on having a whole foods diet and working on my inflammation. I am a girl who has a lot of intolerances and they are not fun. They are very hard. Dairy, sugar. I'm also cutting out gluten as well now. That is such a big focus for me at the end of this year because it's been a struggle for me for a long time. It's something that I haven't been the most disciplined on. So now I'm locking in for these next few periods to see how far I can take it and how disciplined I can stay on my dietary requirements so that I can look after my body in the best way possible. Remember, a winter arc lock-in is about choosing a handful of things that you can 100% go in on and focus on, not trying to rush to the end of the year, trying to do 101 things just because everybody else is doing them and saying that they're good, okay? You have all of 2026 to make a whole new vision board of goals. What can you 100% dedicate yourself on through this winter period? And that is exactly why I am here with today's video, 10 of the best, most efficient steps to master your lock-in period. These are the pieces of advice everybody needs to carry with them, regardless of what their goals are for the next 3 months. This is what's going to help you lock in, stay consistent, and motivated.
Hello? Are you into me? Like I'm into you.
10 steps to master your lock-in. Let's get straight into it. Number 1, environment creates flow. As soon as I learned this step when creating my own routines and trying to be my most productive self, it changed the game and it's literally so easy. It's one ritual that you do once and it sorts you out for such a long period of time. What I mean by environment creates flow is you need to create your daily environment, whether that be your apartment or your workspace, an environment that helps you flourish in your productivity and helps you function 10 times better, either from the way that you organize things or place things in a room. One thing I started with was completely cleaning out my computer because even seeing the clutter on my screen was just mentally affecting me, but then also downloading the relevant productivity apps that would help me organize my messy calendar schedule into time-blocked chunks that helped me feel more motivated to get through my day and know exactly what I had to attack and when. One app I love to use for this is Structured. Another way I upgraded my environment is reorganizing my kitchen cupboards to make healthier eating even easier. So every single morning I have a protein shake for breakfast and I have all my different supplements and I add collagen into it and chia seeds and Brazil nuts and all of these good things, and I all keep them on one shelf so I know this is my breakfast shelf. I'm never gonna forget it. It's so easy for me to grab this in the morning and never miss out on this. Same with my supplements. I organize it into a little supplement case every single Sunday. So every day it's quick, it's easy, I can tip it out, and it's a habit that I can never forget because I've made it easier and I've integrated it into my normal routine. When I'm opening my kitchen cupboards, getting things out, I see it immediately and I won't forget it. Another idea is, where do you place your workout clothes in your bedroom? Are they easy to access? Are they easy to find? Do you have matching sets that make it more exciting and makes you look forward to actually going to the gym and working out? A weird thing I personally do, I added hooks in my bathroom and I've put like my favorite pajamas / silk robes in there. One, because that's just a key pillar in my morning routine and it makes me excited to do my morning routine because I'm like in my cute feminine pajamas looking all good every morning. But 2, it just helps me romanticize my life, and I think it's really important to add that magic and enjoyment back into your daily routine, whether it's through what you wear or the morning routine you do, like wearing your LED mask or having a matcha first thing. But on top of this, I've just been keeping a stack of books on my bedside table, meaning it's a lot easier for me to fall asleep earlier. Just like that, I've reinvented my space and made it revolve around the best version of myself. So I have no choice but to be her. It's really something you need to be intentional about and think about. And I honestly think this is the first step to a lock-in. I want you to assess your bedroom, your kitchen, your living space, and think, where are the blockages and where are the certain parts of my space that are preventing me from being the next level of her that I want to become. This links into step number 2, set friction against every sabotage habit. Collectively, as humans, this is super normal, but every single time we try to create change, there are always those little habits or tendencies we have that just drag us right back to where we started. And before you know it, you're living your old life again, and you're like, why can't I change? Every single time I try, I just end up right back to square one. And it's simple, really. It's all because of the familiarity, routines, comfort, and habits that we've developed over the years that are too hard to shake because they are ingrained in either our lifestyle, our environment, the people around us, or just our regular routines. So your sabotage habit that could be leading you right back to square one instead of letting you progress to the next level could be scrolling, it could be ordering takeout instead of cooking, it could be constantly snacking on junk food in your kitchen cupboards. So now to take a step back and stop the sabotage before it progresses and kicks us back to square one, but instead keep moving on, we need to set in place a new habit that's going to be the friction between the old self and the new self so that we can actually move on. If your sabotage habit is scrolling, trust me, I've been there. It was the thing that used to keep me in bed for too long or prevent me from actually progressing on my work tasks throughout the day. Then you should create a fun, enjoyable morning routine that you can't wait to start as soon as you get up, and then you just set a time limit where you can't go on your phone until you're an hour into your day or once you finish your morning routine. And this links into step number 3. The lock-in must be enjoyable. None of this
hustle harder, you gotta suffer to be disciplined and be like all of the guys out here who are just waking up at 3 again and don't need any sleep.
Please. That is literally so unnecessary because the girlies can get what they want and look good while they do it and enjoy life throughout the process. And I know that because I've achieved that. And this is how. 1, you need to understand, what do I dread about my week or my habits or my goals and why? And then how can I avoid or counteract that? So for example, I literally hate cooking, but I need to cook in order to meet my dietary requirements and be the healthiest, best version of myself. Okay, if I need to cook but I hate it, what do I hate about cooking that I can avoid? I personally think it's so time consuming. It's a bad return on investment. I hate that every single day I have to walk up to the kitchen and actually spend so much time in there just to prepare myself a meal. That is exactly what gets me back to the sabotaging habit of always ordering takeout. So I've made my lock-in a little bit more fun and easy by starting to meal prep every single Sunday. I'll chop up my ingredients like my sweet potatoes, I'll season them, store them in the fridge, and then it's literally just a case of chucking it in the air fryer every single day and my meals are done. Every single time I eat my home cooked meals with my specific meal plan that I've planned out for my dietary requirements and my health goals, I feel so good. The literal only friction is the amount of time I have to spend standing in the kitchen, and now I've solved that. Another example, I used to literally hate going to the gym, never been a gym girly. Now I look forward to it every single day. 1, because I've actually been learning new workout routines by different girls on TikTok, and it's like really spiking my dopamine and making me just feel rewarded because I'm doing hard things and learning new things in the process. 2, I have built up and invested in a cute collection of workout wear that I can't wait to put on in the morning. And then 3, it's not just wake up and go to the gym, it's like a whole routine built around the gym that makes it easier to go to. So I don't do the wake up, go to the gym straight away. It's too intense for me. And the last thing I want to think about the second I've woken up and I'm still groggy is I gotta leave the house all of a sudden and lift a bunch of weights. No, I like to wake up, spend time doing my skincare, have a nice slow morning with my breakfast, I meditate, I do my manifestation journal, and then the gym is the last part in my routine. And once I do that, I either go and grab an iced matcha or a juice, I'll go on a walk and just look around the city for a bit, listening to my favorite music, and then come home and ease into my day. Step 4 is so underrated, and that's energy is everything. Ever since I started thinking about where my energy was growing and where it was leaking and how I could protect it best as I could with everything I was doing in a day, I feel like my life just changed. Because sometimes you don't even realize it, but energy protection is literally the difference between waking up and not understanding why you feel sad and you just can't focus versus being in a flow state, getting through everything, feeling like you're on top of the world and you are that boss girl. So how can we protect and assess our energy? It's all about understanding what your personal energy takers versus energy savers are. So a big energy taker, especially for me, is social media. We all know how it can feed into that self-doubt and downward spiral of comparison. For me, it just puts way too many ideas in my head and I just feel overwhelmed. Plus, it is the biggest example of being addicted to cheap dopamine. You are constantly getting new information, new dopamine spikes. And when you get access to that much in such a short amount of time, no wonder it's so hard to focus on a long task and piece of work. Energy savers are journaling and meditating, your specific manifestation rituals that you love, which help you feel more positive, self-assured, and confident after you do them, as well as exercise and time outdoors, which also replenish your energy. So it's really important to remember that. And when you're creating your morning routine or your night routine, it's really important to figure out what are your energy savers and incorporate as much of that as you can, but also take a step back, evaluate what's depleting your energy. Is it a person in your life? Is it a habit you have? Is it a place that you go? Is it something that's in your room reminding you of an old time in your life that is stressing you out on a daily basis or reminding you of a past version of you? And cut that out of your life. Step number 5 is take a dopamine detox. This is my favorite step because it's actually something I'm personally working through on my journey right now. Essentially, this winter arc dopamine detox means cutting out the cheap dopamine from your life that is keeping you distracted. So examples of this are spending hours scrolling, eating junk food or snacking just because you want to, impulsive shopping, late night streaming, or just constantly consuming media and TV. Those are all examples of cheap dopamine that we want to start stepping away from and instead introduce more slow dopamine to start training our brain to crave deep focus instead of instant pleasure all the time. E.g. cooking instead of ordering out, or reading instead of binging a Netflix TV show every single night. You're then resetting your reward system to make discipline more natural in your life. And this is so important. You're gonna want to do it, but just because you want to do it doesn't mean you should do it, okay? So let's say you're about to scroll TikTok and you stop yourself in the process and you're like, you know what, no, I'm gonna go for a walk instead, or I'm gonna read a few pages. You are rewiring your brain for long-term success, and you are building yourself and your mind into the type of person that could spend 4 or 5 hours writing an essay and not be distracted or procrastinating. Okay, now we're getting into the thick of it. Step number 6, set your game plan. You need to choose one core outcome to achieve by the end of 2025, not 20, okay? We are not going back to our goals list that we set at the beginning of the year, or stressing about our vision board and needing to achieve everything and being a perfectionist all at once, because I promise you it's not realistic. And if you start setting yourself unrealistic goals, you're gonna feel badly about yourself, your self-esteem is gonna plummet, and then you're gonna be in this endless cycle of self-sabotage where you're like, I don't trust myself anymore because I set myself all of these goals and then I didn't achieve them. It's not even your fault. It wasn't even realistic in the first place. So let's not do that to ourselves and instead set some small, actionable, achievable goals that we can actually complete, build that self-trust and better relationship with ourselves and our confidence in the process. So this is where we go into writing your personal list of lock-in rules. Now, you can either choose 1 to 2 big core goals for these last 3 months, or you can choose 6 to 7. That's personally what I've done because some of mine are just a little bit smaller than the others. So I'm gonna share with you mine. Here they are. And another way to think when you're writing this list is you're gonna have your bigger weekly/monthly focuses on what you want to achieve for this lock-in, e.g. whether it be a work project like me, or always having a social plan or networking event scheduled in every single week or once a month. And then you're gonna have your daily non-negotiables that you need to focus on as well. In my case, taking supplements, making sure that I'm going to a workout class or going to the gym every single day, and especially in my case, eating whole foods and just focusing on lowering inflammation. So while you're writing this list, make sure that you break it up into what am I focusing on weekly versus what are my daily non-negotiables. If your list is maybe mostly education or work-based, then break it down even further on how you're going to attack that goal day by day. Is it trying to work towards a business that you're trying to build just 1 hour a day at 8 p.m. once you've had dinner every single day? That is a non-negotiable. You show up at that time every single day, and I think that's a really nice way to stay consistent and make sure that you're always clocking in. Step number 7, manifest like a pro. Remember, your brain believes repetition, not desire. Your subconscious mind does not care what you want, okay? It does not care what you're wishing for and what you're explaining to your friends about who you hope to become one day. Your subconscious mind locks on to what you are continuously repeating in here and out here. And that is exactly why I always say, the more that you act like it's already done, the faster you collapse time and become the version of yourself you've always wanted to be. Essentially, the more that you keep repeating the belief that you are the version of yourself you keep dreaming about rather than just saying you want to become them, the more that you are acting in accordance with that version of yourself, the faster you are going to become them. There are so many different ways to accomplish this. It could be affirmations. Visualizing is a great one, okay? Like imagining your life like a movie before you go to bed every night, living out your dream life. Scripting is another great one, but scripting in terms of law of assumption, where you are assuming that you living the dream life succeeded and achieved all of the things you wanted to have already come true, because scripting equals identity rewiring. If you have no idea where to start on this, I do have so many different videos on my channel that will help you master manifestation, but also everything I just spoke about and more is all laid out for you in my Obsessed with Manifesting journal. That was the aim of this journal, to help everybody master. But truthfully, I don't care if you get the journal, okay? That's just a recommendation. You can absolutely do it without the journal. It's all about mastering your mindset. And the most important thing, I don't want you to go into this lock-in and just think,
I need to work and hustle harder 10 hours every single day, no breaks, no weekends off.
yes, working hard is important, but it pays off so much more when you pair it with manifestation, and you are doing yourself a huge disservice if you do not learn and practice manifestation and mastering your mind, because you could be putting in all of the work, but if you are someone who self-doubts and speaks down on yourself and heavily criticizes yourself, you're just throwing away all of that hard work every single day. And the worst part is you don't even know it because you don't understand manifestation. Step number 8, weekly reviews and course corrections. What do I mean by course corrections? This is about, on a weekly basis, asking yourself, why did I mess up on this thing? Or / where did I mess up on this thing this week that, you know, I procrastinated on this thing, or another week passed by and I didn't add to or contribute to that skill or habit. That's the weekly review part. And now, what is the strategy I can implement to make sure I don't do that again for the following week? That right there is the course correction. And that process is what helps you avoid turning your pitfalls into this endless self-sabotaging cycle, which keeps you stuck in the same identity that you don't even want forever. Having said that, while you are going to be, you know, checking on your progress and seeing where you went wrong, I think it's really important for you to also recognize, what are my wins? I've seen so many people fall into the trap of, you know, I've been working hard and I've been eating good, but I just haven't been to the gym, and then I didn't do this, and I haven't been networking enough, and they just hyperfixate on all of the things they're doing wrong, even though they have a great pile of wins over here. Maybe it's not a big pile of wins, but it's still good, and they're still achieving some stuff, but they're too focused on everything they're not doing that they are killing their self-concept and confidence, and they are still self-sabotaging despite all the work they've already put in. So please remember to celebrate yourself, because focusing on your wins builds that self-trust, builds that confidence, and gives you momentum to keep going and trusting yourself to keep pushing higher. Step number 9, challenge your identity. I'm gonna keep this one real simple because I've spoken about it so many times and I've touched on it already in the video. Doing the work alone is not enough if you still believe yourself to be the insecure, timid, unsuccessful version of yourself that you had been for so long. Even though your lifestyle looks different and you're trying to be different, if your beliefs are still rooted in who you used to be, you are never gonna move anywhere and you are never gonna make any change. We already know that. So instead, for this tip, I wanna give you an example of what challenging your identity means. And this is personally something that I've been practicing and how I've been doing it. So as we all know, one of my biggest goals that I've really been struggling with and I'm locking in on is just eating better. So I have a sugar intolerance and dairy intolerance, which basically means no, I can never have dessert. Does that mean I haven't had dessert for years? No. I'm very lenient on myself for some reason, and I'm trying to stop that, because this isn't just like, oh, I'm trying to be healthy and like have a diet. No, me having sugar and dairy literally is so much inflammation for my body. It's so bad for me. And I haven't ever been consistent on honoring those intolerances because I've been too fixated on, oh, it's not fair and it's hard and everyone else gets to eat dessert, so why don't I? Or I'm out with my friends, so I just feel like having some cupcakes, so I'm just gonna do that. It's that mindset and that identity that kept making me trip up and going back, and now I've switched it, and now this is what I believe and how I speak to myself every single day. Oh my god, I love myself way too much to inflame my body with any of these foods just because to other people it's normal, versus just thinking, oh, this is unfair, other people don't have to do this, so why do I? All of those little shifts in statements and beliefs and the way that I speak to myself has made me feel more confident and more self-assured, and just made the whole process of this goal way easier, because I'm normalizing this new mindset and lifestyle to myself rather than fixating on how I've lived before and how easy it was before. And finally, step number 10, forget your feelings. You know why? Because your brain, all it wants is comfort and familiarity. And the reason that you have a goal right now is because you've never achieved it before, right? Whether it be getting your dream body in the gym and being consistent with it, or eating really healthily because you've always struggled with it. If all your brain wants is comfort and familiarity, it's trying to drag you back to the person who never had those things. And I know the phrase forget your feelings sounds so harsh and so mean, but I want you for a second to remember every single time your brain has told you, I'm scared, I don't want to do this, I don't feel like doing this, and you ignored it, and then things turned out so good, like so great. For example, don't talk to that person. What if they don't like you? Then you end up being friends, or you end up dating. Don't take that public speaking opportunity. What if you get embarrassed? What if you stumble on your words? Then you do it, you develop that skill, and you keep doing it over and over and over again. That's a personal example of mine. Oh, I don't want to go to the gym, but then every time you've gone to the gym, have you ever regretted it? No. If that's not proof that your feelings don't know what's best for you, I don't know what is. Ignoring your feelings and doing the hard thing in the moment, for me, always has made me feel 10 times better after I've done the hard thing versus 1% better because I ignored the scary feeling of doing it and I just stayed comfortable and like stayed sitting on the couch instead. Maybe just forget your feelings for the next 3 months. I'm just asking for the next 3 months. And then in January, let me know how it went. Let me know how you feel. Let me know if you are a more resilient, disciplined person that can make difficult decisions regardless of how you feel in that moment. You can always push through, get out of bed, go to the gym, eat the right food, no matter what. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment down below, let me know what your favorite step out of the 10 were. I'm gonna be reading and responding to the comments, which I love doing. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you same time next week for a brand new video.